I'm about to show you the 3-step system to increase your close rate from YouTube. And this is the exact framework that I used to help one of my clients, Lyndon, who was closing on average $5,000 per video uploaded on his YouTube channel. And we have made almost $500,000 in revenue and sales from YouTube organically.
Just hit 50,000 subscribers. We make over $70,000 a month from our YouTube channel. And Andrew has been a huge part of that.
Right now, you're probably getting some views on your videos that you upload and even maybe booking a few calls. But the problem is whenever you hop on call, you're facing constant objections and people who aren't even a good fit for your offer in the first place. And the frustrating part is you're spending hours and hours on your time creating content that isn't even converting your viewers into buyers, which makes the time that you're investing into YouTube completely pointless. The thing is, most business owners don't understand that a low close rate is not a sales problem and that it is a content problem, which is why in the next few minutes I'm going to break down this 3-step strategy that will transform your YouTube channel from an unqualified lead gen machine into a qualified client acquisition magnet, so you only talk to people who are ready to buy. Now, the first thing we have to do is understand why you actually struggle from a low close rate from YouTube. So if you have a low close rate from YouTube, you either have a problem with your messaging, your content structure / your target audience, or you just don't have a lack of trust from your viewers or a proof of concept that what you're talking about actually works. And one of the best places to actually implement social proof and tell the viewers that you know what you're talking about is in your intros. Intros are one of the most important parts of your videos. But the problem is that 99% of business owners don't actually know how to structure their intros to set up the flow for the rest of their video, which is why you need to understand how to write a good intro that sets the right expectations to your viewers and actually builds social proof and credibility for yourself. So this is the intro framework. The first thing that you want to do is confirm to the viewer that this is the video that they clicked on and the packaging is not clickbait. What this means is that whenever someone is looking at your video on the homepage and they decide to click, you want to make sure that the video that they click on is actually what they signed up for in the first place. One of the simplest and best ways to do this is actually just repeat the title of the video in the first line. So for example, the first line in this video was, I'm about to show you the 3-step system to increase your close rate from YouTube. And then after this line, what you want to do is you want to actually tie it to credibility. So the way I did that in this video was like this. And this is the exact framework that I used to help one of my clients, Lyndon, who was closing on average $5,000 per video uploaded on his YouTube channel. And with intros, you ideally want to have credibility or social proof twice in the intro. So one is going to be at the beginning after the first line, and the second one is going to be at the end of your intro. And after all this, what we want to do is introduce new narratives or unclosed loops to the viewers. What this means is that we want to open a question in the viewer's mind that they need answered. So for example, in this video, I did that by saying, right now, you're probably getting some views on your videos that you upload and even maybe booking a few calls. But the problem is whenever you hop on call, you're facing constant objections and people who aren't even a good fit for your offer in the first place. What this part of the intro does is make the viewer open their mind to what they're missing out on, essentially. You're going to open up some questions in their mind that they don't know the answer to and they want solved. Which brings us to the next part, which is making sure that you actually set the right expectation in the intros of your videos. So a way you could make the right expectation in your intros is by literally just telling your viewers what you're going to go over in your videos. So for example, in this video, I'm showing you the 3-step system to help increase your close rate from YouTube. So that's why in this video, in the intro, I said this, which is why in the next few minutes, I'm going to break down this 3-step strategy that will transform your YouTube channel from an unqualified lead gen machine into a qualified client acquisition magnet. And to take it one step further, if you're making raw videos, kind of like what I am right now, a way you could set another expectation for your viewers so they know what to expect is by just saying something like, take out a pen and paper because I'm going to break down everything in depth. This subconsciously tells the viewers that they could expect a video that is more raw and value and education based rather than entertainment. And the last thing you want to do in your intros is establish singularity and credibility. So add to the video why your POV is unique or how you could actually help this person who's watching the video. So like I talked about earlier, you want to dial in the right messaging in your intros. If you're talking B2B, you're going to be more value first and you're going to throw words around like revenue instead of money. But if your audience is direct to consumer, your messaging is going to change and it's going to be more laid back because you're not targeting smart business owners, right? And another thing that you need to do in your intros is show, don't tell. Pretty much anything in the intro that can be visualized or shown with proof, you want to show. If you say that you've made a client X amount of money, show that Stripe screenshot. If you bring up that you did a video that did over 1 million views, show that video. Every single time that you don't show proof of something like that you say in your video, you're literally missing out on more credibility and more trust that you could build with your audience, which ties into lead with social proof and credibility. Everything that you do in the intro should lead with social proof and credibility, pretty much why you could help solve their problems and why you could help them in this video. And like I said earlier, if your video is going to be less edited and raw, just say something like, I'm about to break down everything A through Z, so take out your pen and paper, right? This is literally just going to subconsciously tell the audience that they could expect a more laid back and less engaging type of video. You'd be surprised, but little things like this explain to your audience subconsciously what they could expect, and it's going to filter out unqualified viewers and people who are not the right fit to actually watch your content. But you see, even if your intros are perfect, you will never be able to attract qualified leads that don't waste your time if you only make content that attracts unqualified viewers. Now, if you're watching this and you're thinking everything makes sense, but you don't actually have the time to implement all this directly into your YouTube channel, that's why I created a done for you YouTube lead generation system that handles everything for you, completely done for you. I'm talking doing your thumbnails, your titles, your scripts, your video editing, even posting the videos themselves, that will help you generate 10 to 30 qualified book calls every single month completely organically from YouTube. So click the first link in the description to book a completely free 30-minute strategy call with me to see if we are a great fit to work together. And if you're not interested, no worries, let's continue with the rest of the video. That's why you need to start adding in trust building content to your YouTube channel. This type of content attracts the smallest but the most qualified type of viewers. These are going to be strictly trust building videos, things like case studies and testimonials and previous client results that you've gotten. These videos are literally perfect for someone who is aware of what service you provide, but they're really not sure how it will benefit them or what type of results they could achieve while working with you. So these are a few examples from my client's channel. So the first video is how he makes $20,000 a month from YouTube with 1,000 subscribers. This video is literally just a raw client interview. It has gone 430 views and it has added a ton of social proof into his channel. And same with the other ones. These are literally just videos where it's a client interview. So how I'd actually recommend that you go about making a video like this is I'd recommend you making a case study video where you actually interview your client one-on-one, and then you could have pre-recorded questions that you ask your client in their interview and pretty much just show how they went on a journey from before working with you to where they are now after working with you. So this type of video is literally just a Zoom meeting, but another thing that you could do is you could actually show and break down the back-end systems that you've implemented into these clients that you have give results, and you could actually show everything you did on like a Miro board or on like a slideshow like I'm doing now and actually show all of this. But the video style that's going to build the most trust with your audience is going to be that client interview style. But even if you implement trust building content and bottom of funnel content, you still won't be able to actually optimize and increase your close rate unless you actually know where you're getting your calls booked from. You see, most of your calls are getting booked from these two different ways, either CTAs in your videos or a CTA in your VSL / in your landing page. So if you understand what separates a good CTA from a bad CTA, you could maximize the amount of qualified prospects that book a call while eliminating leads that are a complete waste of time for you. Which brings us to the CTA framework. What you want to do in your YouTube videos to increase the close rate is you want to have two different types of CTAs in every single video that you upload. The first is going to be a midway CTA. So this is going to be a CTA that is around halfway through your video. And the structure of this CTA is you're first going to call out, and then you're going to point back to your offer. Then you're going to call to action and pretty much just tell people to click the link in the description. This CTA is going to be directly to your offer. So an example of this midway CTA, for example, my channel, what I say is, so if you're looking to get all this built out for you, I've built out a YouTube lead gen system that will help you get 10 to 30 qualified book calls every single month. And we handle everything for you, completely done for you. And then I CTA by saying, so click the first link in the description where you could book a free 30-minute call with me. That is the basic three-way framework for midway CTAs. You first want to call out, so pretty much call out anyone who is interested. Then you want to point them back and remind them of what your offer is. Then you're going to actually tell them to do something and CTA to go to the description and book a call with you. And then we have the outro CTA. So the outro CTA is actually going to point viewers back to your conversion asset on your YouTube channel. So that could be either a VSL, a story video, or like a free course video. So how the CTA framework works is you want to link what is currently going on in the video to another video. So pretty much why someone would want to go from the current video they're on to another video on your channel. Then you're going to introduce a curiosity gap, which is pretty much just a question in the viewer's mind that they want answered. And then you're going to go to a CTA/promise. So what they will get from watching that video and what they could expect by the time they're finished watching with it. Now, those are the basic CTA frameworks, but what you need to understand is you need to apply a different type of messaging to to each CTA to actually get rid of unqualified prospects. So one of the first ways you could do this is by qualifying in your CTA. So if you only take on people who are at a certain amount of dollars per month, what you could say is if you're doing X per month and you want to go to Y, then you'd keep going on with your CTA. But what this does is that it only points out people who are already doing whatever dollar figure a month you start working with them at. So if the line is, if you're doing 100K per month, someone who's watching the video is not going to be as interested if they're only making $20,000 per month, because in the CTA you've actually already qualified them and told them it won't work for them unless they're making over $100,000 per month, so they won't book a call. Another messaging shift you could do to elevate sort of your brand and keep unqualified guys away, instead of saying a free call or pretty much devaluing your offer, you could be like, apply to work with us, which makes your offer seem more grand and it makes it seem like it is for people who are very selective with who they work with. And same with the scarcity and selectivity thing. It's pretty much what I said earlier. You only work with clients doing X per month, right? So that is already going to qualify people who aren't making that much money, because they're going to think that your offer is not going to help them. And in the CTAs, what you want to do is connect their current situation to the exact solution in the CTA. So pretty much call out someone who is struggling or doing XYZ and then say, I've created something that will get you to Y. This is the basic soft close conversion system with your midway CTAs, and this messaging alone is going to turn off a bunch of people who are not qualified for your offer. But the thing is, even if you know how to increase your close rate from YouTube, you still need to learn how to implement all of this specifically for your channel without spending months going through trial and error trying to figure it out all by yourself. Which is why I made a video breaking down exactly how I would turn your YouTube channel into a lead generation machine, like I've done for my clients in the past, like Lyndon. So watch this next video on screen right here where I go over what you need to implement into your channel and how you could actually turn your channel into a lead generation machine that works 24/7 while you sleep.